Growing shortages and rising prices could well lead to disastrous policies such as food rationing and price controls. Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times. Shortages are getting more acute. Shoppers increasingly see empty shelves and are starting to do anticipatory buying lest they not be able to get essentials, such as toilet paper. We're being advised not to delay buying Christmas presents, or we might end up being involuntary Grinches. Despite happy talk from the Federal Reserve earlier this year, pricing pressures are worsening. Wages are going up nicely, but the cost of living is rising even faster. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen now says inflation won't abate until the second half of next year. Biden's chief of staff didn't help matters by endorsing a tweak that said higher prices and shortages are a sign of prosperity. Incredibly, the White House didn't back off. President Biden, on that disastrous CNN town hall, had no answer about surging gasoline prices or the backed-up freight on the West Coast. Voters are angry. The president's approval rating among independents has plummeted and is now below 30%. Unfortunately, ideas are being bruited about that would infinitely worsen the situation, such as capping gasoline and heating fuel prices, issuing diktats to retailers that would limit the amounts of scarce products consumers would be allowed to buy. That will be followed by formal price controls. And we can expect the age-old ugly response of desperate politicians scapegoating. That is, publicly shaming of individuals and companies as profiteers and turning a blind eye to assaults on dissenting people and politicians. Want angry activists accompanying you to the restroom? Some observers say we're in an era of shortages. A Washington Post column declared, quote, "Time for some new, more realistic expectations," end of quote. Nonsense. These problems are a result of bad policies, which can be promptly corrected. Encourage productive investment by abandoning new taxes and programs that disrupt labor markets. Stop the Federal Reserve's money printing. Stop the war on oil and gas production. Stop imposing new regulations, which especially hurt small businesses. No frightening new powers for the IRS. And repeal that unconstitutional executive order regarding the vaccine. Persuasion is the better approach instead of firing up resistance. Moreover, tens of millions of people already are immune from having the disease. Biden's decree here is leading to the unnecessary firing of hundreds of thousands of needed workers. As for supply chains, we're perhaps beginning to grasp how unimaginably complex they are. You can't shut down the global economy and then turn it back on like a light switch, particularly as recovery from the pandemic has hardly been uniform from country to country. Instead, remove barriers, such as the idiot trucking and chassis regulations in Los Angeles and Long Beach that are the key reason for a catastrophic backlog of freight there. I'm Steve Forbes. Thanks for listening. Do send in your comments and suggestions, and I look forward to being with you soon again.